Greetings, YouTube. So I saw something just now on the big purple. Someone asking, how do dragons get enough food? And I gotta be honest with you, I never really worried about it. But if I were to ponder it, I would say that dragons, being inherently magic, probably don't need a lot of food. They eat because they want to. I remember there was they had added vampires into Cyberpunk 2020 at one time in one of the supplements. And as the vampire aged, they needed to eat less and less food until when they were at their most venerable age, they only ate once a year. And at that point, they were only feasting on volunteers. So maybe dragons work the same way. As they're small, they need require food, but as they get bigger, they require less and less food for their size until they get to their big size when they, again, only eat when they need to. Other than that, they're just consuming the magical energy of the world itself, of the prime plane. And I think that is probably the best way of hand waving that away. Now, it's a little bit more difficult to hand wave away, say, like the humanoids, the big ones, like the trolls and the ogres and the giants, because they are basically biological. I mean, yeah, they violate the squared cube law, but it is a world of magic where you've got wizards casting wish spells and you've got dragons, so I think we can not worry about that so much. But are they considered inherently magic, or do they actually have to consume enough food to keep themselves going? For like stone giants, which are the oddest of all the giants, because they're very much portrayed as almost elementals in many respects, um, but still being biological. So I think that they would be definitely on the cusp of needing very little food, can be very picky about it, and don't particularly have a desire to go out and murder and slay uh, the neighbors just to get a snack. But the other giants, like the hill giants and the frost giants and the fire giants, they seem to be more biological. Even though I will admit that the fire giants and the frost giants are far more magical than hill giants. Hill giants are really portrayed as just nothing but larger ogres. So I figure that the ogres and the trolls and the hill giants, they all need food. Maybe the other giants being more magical, the storm giants, cloud giants, again the frost and the fire and the stone, maybe they, being more elemental in nature, they need less. And again, maybe there's so much to the point where they only eat because they want to. Um, but I mean, there are lots of things that are big, and we don't really worry a whole lot about whether they're consuming enough calories to keep an organism that size going. If you put it into our world, maybe it gets a little bit more problematic because, again, you should have the square cubed law, and big things that you see in movies sometimes, like kaiju, just shouldn't work. If it's a kaiju, it's obviously not taking place in our universe because kaiju can't exist here. An elephant is, elephants are the biggest thing we've got around, and some of the really big dinosaurs were the biggest things that ever walked on the earth, and even they aren't kaiju sized. But dragons, I figure dragons, as they age, consume more and more of magical energy of the prime plane than they do actual biological, calories. So, what is your thought on this? How do you handle that? Do you just not worry about it? Is it something that's kind of bugged you all along and you've never really come up with a solution? Let's talk about dragon biology.